Hello, my good people. This is Testimony Tuesday, and we are here with amazing testimonies. My name is Grace Gitonga, and I am sure you're going to be blessed. So come prepared with an open heart. Yes, to learn, to hear from God, because He has amazing things in store for you. Without wasting too much time on my introduction, we have our guest already in the house. Karibu sana, our guest. I would say his name, but it's better if he introduces himself. So karibu sana, tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Grace Gitonga.
Oh, wow, okay.
You have a beautiful smile. You're blessed of the Lord.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. My name is David Muiruri Gathoni and Karano, my great dad. I'm a boy child advocate. I'm a youth leader. I'm a mentor to many young people. And also I'm a minister of the word. And also a teacher of the word. That is who I am.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. So today being Testimony Tuesday, we want to know, David, how did you grow up? How was your childhood? How do you have any siblings? How was your family life, early life? And we want to know what we can get from your amazing story. As I usually say, God has given us different amazing paths, and He has made us like that so that we can be able to draw from one another. So I am sure we are going to draw from you. So David, how was your childhood growing up? Yes, uligroia wapi? What was going on?
Great. Great. Amazing. Every time I share my story, I'm reminded of the parable of the 99. The parable of the lost sheep. The way God left the 99 and went for that one sheep. I was once lost, Grace, but now I am found.
Yes.
Nilikuwa nimepotea huko. I shared my story the other time, and I said that nimetumia bangi for 7 years. I was lost in masturbation. I was lost in pornography. And I'm not ashamed when I share that, because I am who I am because of the grace of the Lord.
Yeah.
God has delivered me from darkness into the marvelous light. Wakati nilikuwa nimefungua macho na devil, wakati sikuwa najielewa, but now I know who I am.
Yeah.
Christ came for me and delivered me, washed me, and now I'm a new creature in God. So I will be sharing my story of how God delivered me from darkness into the light. Wakati nilikuwa nimefungwa macho na devil akitaka kuni destroy. Bible inatuambianga the devil comes to kill, steal and destroy.
Yes.
But Christ anasema, I have come so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. I was dead to sin. I was dead in sin. But now I experience life ya God. And by the grace of God, na live life.
Wow.
Na nime live life ya impact. So today I will be sharing my story of how God has helped me, and I know you'll be blessed.
Wow.
So mi nimegrow ya Githunguri. My mom got pregnant akiwa kwao. So mi nimerizwa na shosho yangu, my grandmother. So my mother alikuwa anafanya job, mi nilikuwa naishi na my grandmother, sa shosho, lugha ya mtaa shosho. So shosho ndo ameni-raise. Now for sometimes I thought my grandmother was my mother, my real mother, because my grandmother was so loving. Shosho anaweza mashosho, kuna venye wanakuanga, anakushow love, anakutreat poa, anakuletea maziwa until you are like, oh, you are my mother. So my mama alikuwa anafanya job, ananiacha na shosho. So that is the environment I grew in, with a single mom, and also I was raised by my grandmother. So let me share this. My hukasasa, my grandfather was assassinated. So those are stories I hear before I was born, because nimenemiwa after my grandfather, the father to my mother. So he was assassinated. Those are stories I come to learn later. So I've grown in an environment where there was no father figure. That is the same environment that I've grown in. Place hakuna a father figure. Hakukuwa na mzae ninge look up to. But I still went on. When you're young, you don't understand vitu mingi. So I went forth na I can't remember everything niko mdogo, but I remember this one time my auntie, anaitwa Auntie Monica, alinipeleka shule. Shule ilikuwa inaitwa Neema Junior Academy. Tulikuwa tunavaa red na kinyasa. And you can imagine how tall I was na kwa kinyasa. But nilikuwa na feel fit sana. I was looking forward to go to school, because I had a cousin mwenye alikuwa mzee kuniliko na alikuwa shaenda hiyo shule. So I was looking forward niende hata mimi nianze shule. And I went and started.
Wow.
As a normal kid, nikaanza nursery, baby class, and I went for hiyo time tulikuwa naenda pre-unit, then unaenda class 1.
Yeah.
And I went forth. But I remember very well, nikiwa pre-unit nilistruggle sana kusoma. Mimi nilikuwa nashangaa kwa nini masomo ingi na mwalimu alikuwa anatupiga. And I remember one day my mama aliandika because aliona na struggle kusoma na kuandika, akaandika kwa kitabu yangu ya math, can you teach my son how to read and write? But mimi na ukora wangu nikaenda nikakata paper na nikaficha. And I want you to pick something there, that when you are afraid to face your problems, when you are afraid to face things that you're not okay with, your weaknesses, inaweza kuaffect. Because kama ningefunzwa reading and writing, maybe there are things that singe struggle nazo. Because right now mimi ni public speaker, napenda kubonga na wase. And as a public speaker, you need to be more articulate, you need to know how to read and write. But I know the devil was just trying to kill my dream when I was young, because that's the strategy of the devil. Alitry kuwa Jesus akiwa mdogo, alitry kuwa Moses akiwa young. So the devil is always after the seed that you carry. But who is our God? Who is our God? Yes.
Wow. On that part of what? Of struggling with reading and writing.
Yes.
Were you conscious about it in the sense that you felt you were lesser than the other kids, or what was going on in your mind? Because for a child to do something like that, it means you are very conscious about it. Or did you get any kind of bullying because of it, or what happened?
I would be lying kama naweza sema I can recall why I was struggling. But one thing that I can remember is nilikuwa nasumbua sana shule. Nilikuwa na kiburi sana. Nilikuwa nasumbua walimu. Then I think, I don't know, but sikuwa napenda kusoma. So I think nilikuwa nasumbua, and that's why mwalimu angenipiga sana.
Okay.
So I was rebelling anything mwalimu anasema. But I remember I really struggled reading it. Alafu nilikuwa naogopa kusoma mbele ya watu. I think I was not confident. I don't know. I don't know. You cannot understand many things when you're young.
Yes, true.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. So God willing, I'm just hoping that ulijua kusoma, because anyway you're here, right?
Yes.
So ukajua kusoma, and now you're in primary school, now the upper primary. Yes, how was it? Puberty is another stage.
Sure.
So how was it for you?
Great. I remember very well, before tuende huko juu, nikiwa class 1, watu wangekuja shule, my first question was, unaweza nipiga? That was my first question, unaweza nipiga?
Okay.
Because a bully, nilikuwa nataka tu kudominate. Nilikuwa nataka waswa nitambue na waniambie, wewe ni mzito. That is a class 1. Imagine uko class 1 na mtu akikuja, the first question, unaweza nipiga? Unaweza nipiga? So nikiwa form 1, a guy called David Muiruri came. Alikuwa chopi, alikuwa anapata 400. I remember very well, kuna exam tulikuwa tunafanya, tuko class 1. Na kuna hii swali ya Kiswahili ilikuwa imeulizwa, mtoto wa nyoka ni nani? And I remember nikamwambia, manze jibu ni nini? I think aliniambia kitu hata sielewi. Because unajua watoto watakangi kuonyeshana.
Yeah.
And I wrote, I think I was a don't care, siko napenda masomo. Nisijua maiko inaingia ama ni nini. Na nikaenda kucheza. Nilikuwa napenda kucheza sana. So in my early days, nilikuwa nakuja zile positions za mwisho huko nyuma. I think I had an attitude, but I don't know, I cannot even explain. I would be lying kama naweza sema nilikuwa najielewa. But I remember nilikuwa nakuja zile positions za mwisho.
Okay.
We went forth. Tungeenda tucheze nao, jamaa anakuja kupita, mimi naanguka. But I don't care. Yes, unasikia mimi nauliza mtu, unaweza nipiga? Na umekuja the first day. I just wanted to dominate like a bull. Went forth. Class 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my grades are still poor. And I remember in class 7, my auntie said, ningetaka uende boarding. And I remember in class 7, I boarded and I became a boarder. Nika board class 7 and class 8. So in class 7, I remember very well. So I'm in a new environment.
Oh, yes, because I wanted to ask you, it will be such a transition coming from an environment where you're comfortable at home, and then now you are meeting with strangers, you're still a child, or even mentally. So how was that transition? How did you take up that transition?
nilifeel fiti, nimeenda boarding, kulikuwa nako kakitu na boarding, nilifeel
interesting.
Unabebwa ka box, umepelekwa pale, then juni raima tulikuwa tunaosha nguo, tunakula vizuri, so it was nice because it's a private school. But now the problem, I remember very well, there was a young man called Brian, alikuwa ametoka side za Tao, mimi nimetoka Ushago, very naive, and I remember ange come tunalala kwa kitanda alafu anaanza kunishikashika, very weird. I'm very naive, and what I don't understand, this young man is trying to introduce me to gazing. By that time I don't know even what gazing means.
Oh my god.
Sika watoto sasa wana understand LGBTQ. By that time I'm very young, very naive.
Yes.
Sielewi anataka kunintroduce kwa gazing.
Wow.
So we are just playing and but I'm very innocent.
Yes.
And I went forth, class 8 ikakuja. But something changed when I was in class 7. The school manager, the owner of the school, akauza shule. So a new management came in. Waka hike prices, and a lot of students wakatoka hiyo shule. So tukabaki wachache. They brought new teachers na and because we are few, now teachers would focus na mtu individually. And that's when now my grades zikaanza kuimprove. And that's when I understood it's not about now the students or the pupils, it's about the teacher. Kuna wakati ukaangalia shule walimu wanafocusing na wale watu wanapita. But I think I was a slow learner, I don't know, or I needed a new way of teaching. So when walimu wapi wakakuja, they started focusing on us. And I remember very well, grades zangu zikaanza kupanda pole pole. Class 8 ikakuja, and I remember in class 8 there's an exam we did and I came number 3.
Wow.
And they said you're the most improved pupil. I remember there was also this time nilipata science 100 yote, nilipiga yote.
Wow.
Ule mtu alikuwa na struggle. So those teachers changed my mind. Yes. Actually they changed the name of the school. It was called Neema Junior Academy, and now it was called Mindbridge. Mindbridge.
Wow.
And we went forth, did class 7, class 8. Now grades zangu zimeanza kuimprove. Nilikuwa napata 200, but now at least I could get 300. So by the time we were finishing class 8, I got 337 marks.
Wow.
Out of 500.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. This is to encourage anyone.
Yes.
No one is a lost case. No one is a lost case. No matter what is happening around you, no one is a lost case. So, David, back to you. Now, umesumbua ukiwa lower primary.
Yes.
So, I am really curious to know, the moment you go to high school,
yes,
the stage where most people are afraid of, and that is teenagehood. How was it?
Wonderful question. I think I was not prepared for high school. First, tumemaliza nimepata 337, but because that was a new school, hatukuitwa shule yote. So aunti yangu, my parents wakaanza kunitafutia shule. And I remember very well, wakapata different school, but eventually I went to Mohoho High School. Iko Gatondo, side za Uhuru. Mohoho High School. I went there, very naive, eager to go to the next level. So in that period, ndo tulina tukakuwa circumcised, tumetai, and I'm feeling like a man. I'm now a man. I can face the world. Remember, I've grown without a father. So in my mind, I was only relating to my grandmother and my mom. I don't have a father figure. Sina father figure. So in my mind, I have started realizing that I desire to be a man. I'm growing. In age of puberty. So nimeingia form 1, and I find these huge guys in form 4. They were very huge. Niliingia form 1 2013. So I find these huge guys, and I was like, wow, I admire to be like that one day. And I remember very well, the first time nilienda high school, nilienda CU direct, because my grandmother has taught me to go to church. So when nilienda high school, the first thing I did was, where is the Christian Union? And I went directly to the Christian Union.
Wow.
Very naive, nimepaka time, nimefunga, nimetakin, trouser baggy, tafi, mama ameniambia usome, kumbuka ile kitu imekuleta huku. And I was like, yes mom, nitasoma, I will make you proud. Very naive. Yes. And the first exam nikapata B.
Wow.
Very focused. Na mimi sitaki mchezo, msini distract, ni kusoma. So this is a new culture. every school has a culture. Every school, every high school, and every place you go has their own culture,
So
their way
true.
of life. In Mohoho, where I went, they had their different cultures. Monolization ilikuwa, people were using drugs also, and different things. So when you don't know who you are, it's a problem. Wakati ujue ni nani, you can be absorbed by a culture. I never knew who I was. I was struggling with identity crisis. Most of the times, we get our identity from our fathers. No one trained me or prepared me for high school. So I went there very naive. So from first term ikaisha. So second term, before second term now, nimerealize kuna two small groups. Hao wametoka ushago, hao wametoka town. Watu wametoka town, wanabonga sheng. Mimi Kiswahili yangu ni nilietaga nikakuja and they were laughing at us. Hao watu wanaongeaje? Ati nilietaga, and they would laugh. They would make us feel bad. And the last thing you want to do to a teenager is discriminate them.
So true.
When you're a teenager, you're very sensitive with your emotions. Ukiwa teenager, mtu hata akijoke na wewe inaweza kuumiza. Because you're very delicate.
So true.
You're in the journey of discovering yourself. So I said, I don't want to be discriminated. So by that time, my mom was working in Ruiru. Alikuwa anafanya kazi salon. Na alikuwa amekomboa Ruiru. Kasingo room. So I told them, mimi kwetu si ushago. Na by that time naambia hivyo, naongea hivi, kwetu si ushago. Mimi nimetoka town. Town yetu ni Ruiru. And I told them, mimi nimetoka Ruiru. So I remember very well. Tungefunga shule, naenda Ruiru na kasiku 3, then naenda ushago. Ndo marafiki wangu wasijue nimetoka ushago. Because I was not proud of myself. And I know most of the people have not accepted themselves. Kama umetoka ucha. If you have come from a poor background, kama wazazi wako wana do, just accept it. So mimi siko nimeji-accept.
Yeah.
And I remember very well. Nikaenda kwa my mom, nikaka 3 days, then nikaenda ushago.
And this is Form 1. Form
Yes.
1 still?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So venye tulifunga shule, nikarudi kwa my mom. And I remember very well. One day nilikuwa nimekaa kwa hiyo single room, nikaboeka nikasema, wacha niende nitembelee rafiki yangu tulikuwa tunasoma naye anaitwa Dan. And I went kumvisit. Venye nilienda kuvisit my friend anaitwa Dan, akani introduce kwa marafiki wake. Au marafiki wake, what I didn't know is that they were using drugs, walikuwa navuta bangi. And I remember very well, one evening,
Yes.
tukitembea tu hivi, beshte yake moja akachomoa bangi.
By this time, do you have any idea bangi
have
ni
no
nini?
idea.
You're just seeing something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mimi nimeenda tu kutembelea beshte yangu, nisiweke nyumbani. Akachomoa bangi from the end. When alichomoa bangi, I'm asking myself, hey, what is about to happen here? I was afraid. Mimi siko ona bangi ama kuvuta.
Yeah.
So bangi kaanza kukuja from the first person to the second person to the third person. So when ilifika hapa, in my heart I'm like, nivute bangi ama nisivute? Niwaambie sivutangi. So that is a battle that is going in your mind. And when you don't know who you are, when you have an identity crisis, it is easy to be manipulated. Hapo ndo peer pressure inakujia. My mentor says, show me your friends and I will show you who you are. And also the Bible says, bad company ruins good morals.
So true.
And I remember very well, this naive small boy from Ushago, mtoto wa shosho, venye bangi ilipasiwa, nilichukua ni kama mtu amevuta miaka mingi leta. And I remember very well, nikavuta ni kama mtu ameivuta, nikakohoa. And they laughed at me, but nataka kujifanya mimi navutanga hii kitu. But that was the first time. Can you see how when you don't know who you are, una try to fit in? When
So
you don't know who you
so
are,
true.
you will try to fit in to things that you have never tried.
And you know, most parents struggle with their teenagers.
Yes.
Because like you said, you are a good boy.
Yes.
You know, you're going to high school, you're being told you need to remember why you came to this place.
Yes.
But there's usually a really big transformation when kids come out of primary school into high school, and especially Form 1 transitioning to Form 2. So do you think the biggest problem is the identity crisis? Because unasikia mzazi anasema my child was good, all of a sudden amekausha kichwa, what is going on? So I want you to talk about that identity crisis, and especially to the parents. What can you tell the parents in this transition period so that they can be able to know how to relate with their children when they're transitioning from childhood to now almost adulthood? Yes.
Thank you so much, Grace. You've said something very, very important. Wakati umegrow bila, when you've grown without a father, wakati umegrow in a broken family, na wakati pia your parents were not present. Sometimes when you are young, mostly ukiwa teenager, you are looking for, you're searching, like, who am I? You're asking yourself, who am I? And when you don't know who you are, and when you don't get the right teachings from your parents, ama when you're not introduced to mentors who can guide you in the right way, you try to look for yourself in the wrong places. Because mtu akiwa teenager anakuanga akijitafuta, anajiuliza, who am I? And hapo ndo mwili imeanza kudiscover, umeanza kupata base, muscles imeanza kugrow. So you're in that process of developing yourself, discovering yourself. And when you don't have, maybe for me, you don't have a father figure, so you identify yourself with now your big brothers in high school. And because I did not have a big brother, when I went to high school, I was identifying myself with the Form 4s. And when you find now someone who's older than you and they don't have the right values, ni rahisi sana wapoteze.
So true.
So this is what a parent can do. So as early as possible, introduce your child to a mentor who has a good character, who is respectable, who can train your child to be a man or to be a lady of value. Yes.
Wow, amazing. So umetishia watu, umevuta bangi the first time.
Yes.
So what happened after that?
So mimi nikavuta bangi, nikasikia high. So nimevuta na nikasikia high. So for ilikaa kama some seconds, then something that I've never felt. Nika feel fiti, nika feel high. So tukaenda kwa hao mabeste wakaeka reggae. So mimi nilikuwa na feel kameshika. Nilikuwa nasikia hata kale ka music na kwanga huko nyuma. Ni kama senses zangu zilifunguka hivi. So na feel fiti. So because I was so naive, my mama alikuwa anatoka job hapo around 7, 8. So nikaambia mabesha wangu nitarudi. So nikakimbia nikaoga meno. So my mama venye alikuja, akakuja normally akanisalimia, akapika mchele. But bangi hajashuka. So na act in a very weird way. So nakula food mbio, naona ni kama nakula mbio, then na slow down. Nakula polepole, naona nakula polepole. Nilikuwa nakujishuku sana because naona ni kama my mama ananuliza nimevuta bangi. So I started behaving in a weird way, but that is the last thing my mama angefikiria.
Yes.
Ninavutaje bangi.
How?
So niko nimeepuka hiyo. So but it continued. Ningena nivute then akamni. So my mom never knew navuta bangi. Yes. Na nikarudi shule. So narudi shule, huyo best ananiintroduce kwa mabest wengine. So na feel mimi ni mwanaume because nilikuwa nadhani kwa mwanaume ni kuvuta bangi, kuwa mrui, kuwa arrogant. That is what I thought kuwa being a man is. And that's why I'm saying mentorship is very important. Where you take your child and you introduce them to mentors who will guide them on how to be a man.
Yeah.
So I started using drugs. So Form 1 second term nimeanza kutumia bangi, using drugs. My grades zangu zikaanza kwenda chini because my focus, when you start using drugs, focus yako inapotea. And because it affects the brain. So second term nikapata C. That term nikapata C minor. So unaona nimepata B alafu grades zangu zimeanza kwenda chini. Bad company ruins good morals. Nikiwa Form 2 I got a D. Wow. Because I'm not reading, so grades zangu zikaanza kwenda hivi chini. And I remember very well, tukaachwa shule. Shule yetu kulikuwa na kitu inaitwa sama. When you get a D and below, you are left in school, mfanye tuition. So when we were left, I felt so bad. Can you imagine kale ka feeling watu wanene nyumbani na afu uendi nyumbani? So I felt very bad. So venye tuliachwa huko, tukafanya tuition, and something in my mind was like, is this the life you want to live? Is this the life you want to live? even when you are doing wrong, there is something that can tell you. Kuna hizo maswali mtu anajiulizanga.
Yeah.
Is this the life you want to live? Nilifikaje hapa? Because I knew I was not stupid. Ni venye nimepoteza focus. So tukaambiana na mabeshte wangu, tutakuwa tunaibia exam ndo tusiwachwe. And that's how I started stealing exam. Nikaanza kuiba exam ndo nisikuwe na wachwa. And we decided from next term we'll be stealing exam, and that's how we started.
Wow.
From 2 second term tukaibia exam hatukuachwa. There's a time tulibia exam tukapita excess. Can you imagine you've been failing, then kitu kama chemistry unapata 70, you don't know even how ulipata, but because of umeibia. And that became the culture. Second form 2 ikaisha, and when I was in form 2 I really bullied many people wakiwa form 1. Ilikuwa tu because unataka kujitambua, unataka watu wakutambue. And I remember very well, watu wakaanza kuniita when you ule msee. And when you are a teenager na watu wakupigia makofi, you feel like umefika.
You know what I've just captured from that is the kid who was in class 1 who wanted to kuchapa watu, wanauliza ni nani atakuja ni mchape, so inakuja ni kama it is being elevated.
Yes.
Now sasa kuchapa imeingia kwa bangi, sasa it's now you are the man.
Yeah.
There's no one like you.
Yes.
Oh my God. Hey, what happened?
When I was in form 2, I started also watching pornography.
Oh.
I think I was in class 7 when I think I was introduced to pornography by my friend.
The same friend?
Another friend now, when I was in primary school.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I started watching pornography. So it also affected my mind. It also affected my mind. When you watch pornography, it affects your mind. So you're in class, you cannot concentrate because there are pictures in your mind. So mwalimu anafunza kem, what is in your mind ni zile vitu uliona kwa pornography. And it also affected my mind. In that journey of watching pornography, nikiwa form 2, I would hear my friends talk about sex. And you know, sex is a very interesting topic to the young people.
Very true, very true.
When you mention sex, people are like, oh,
yeah, they're excited.
Let us hear about sex. So people, I had my friends saying, hey manze, nililala na msichana, I had sex with this. Oh, and because sisi nataka nikuwe left out, I had never slept with a lady, but I've watched pornography.
This is form 2.
Form 2. But I
goodness.
watching pornography when I was in class 7.
Yeah.
So I've watched so many pornographic materials. So niko na theory kwa kichwa. So ndo nisikie niko left out, ningepiga story hata mimi nimelala na wasichana, and I would explain the things I've watched kwa pornography. Ndo nisikuwe left out. Do you see now the problem of not knowing who you are?
So true, so true.
You'll do stupid things. I have done so many stupid things so that I can fit in. So, and it created a desire in me that I would want to watch more pornography. Ndo nikamnipewa say story. Na pia wanitambue. Because it is very funny in high school. The more criminal you are, venye tuwe ni mrui, the more mrui you are, the more watu wanakutambua.
It's so, like a source of identity.
Yes. Ati ni kama unapata gangster points. And it is so stupid.
Yeah.
People clap for you when you are doing stupid things. Watu wanakupigia makofi wakati unapotea. And as a teenager, most of the teenagers watu unapotezana because unapigwa makofi ukifanya ufala. Navuta bangi wasa wananipigia wananiambia mimi ni mzito. When I'm a good person, people wananiambia mimi ni fala. And because back at home I was not told that being good is the best thing, and I'm in the process of being a man. I want to be a better man. I want to be a real man. And I think kukuwa mrui, that is what it means to be a man. And I was lost.
Wow.
So all my high school nikasumbua walimu, and I became top of the list. Wale watu walikuwa nasumbua walimu.
Yeah.
Ilifika place hata depa ananichapa. Alikuwa ananituma kwa makarao. So shule yetu ilikuwa na makarao wawili. Kulikuwa na cell. So walimu waliinua mikono because ningesumbua walimu sana.
And within all this, you're just happy. You are that lack of identity.
Yes,
that is the main
identity.
key.
Yes.
That lack of identity, it used to puff you so much that you feel the more criminal you are. Now that is hapo ndio watu watakutambua.
That's true.
Oh my goodness.
And it went forth. it escalated. So the more napiga wase, the more nakuwa mrui, ndo wase wananitambua. And that is what I was looking for. Nilikuwa nataka wase wanitambue.
Yeah.
Nilikuwa nataka wase wanipigie makofi waniambie wewe ni mzito. And when you tell a teenager wewe ni mzito, ana feeling I'm on top of the world. So form 2 yote ikaisha. Form 3 culture ni gani? Kuibia exam, kuiba mikate, kupiga form 1. And things went forth na wakaendelea na tukaendelea. So 2015 form 3 na exams, the form 4s are doing the examination. So tuliwasaidia sana kuiba exam. 2015 exam iliibiwa until ikakuja. Ilikuja hadi kwa news.
Yeah.
Can you remember 2015?
Yes.
Watu waliiba exam sana until it became a national problem. And we thought pia sisi time yetu tukiwa form 4 tutaibia exam. So mbona ujisumbua ukisoma Grace?
There's no point.
Mbona?
Hakuna.
Tuendelee kuwa warui. So na shule yetu kulikuwa na funky nyingi. So the form 4s, when I was in form 1, ladies could come for functions za shule mafunky. Na weird things would happen. I remember when I was in form 1, tungeamshwa saa 9 kuosha. Then I remember very well, ladies would come, they would dance in front, shaking their
behind.
Their behind. And I was like, those people are so evil. But by the time I was in form 2, I really desired to be there in the podium dancing with those girls. Tunaitanga kurombosewa. A girl twerking. Then you go behind her. It was very, very naughty. But I've entered into a new school with a new culture, and that is what I find. And I think that is what it means to be a man. Hiyo ndo kuwa mwanaume, kuwa na wasichana, kurombosewa. So nimeingia CU, but now I think CU hakuna kitu inabamba. And I get kwa world form 2 form 3 form 3 exam tumesaidia the form 4 kuiba exam. Now I'm in form 4. Sasa hiyo nasikia sasa mimi ndo mrui. Kila mtu anasema jina yangu. I had a nickname, nilikuwa naitwa Majiko. So everyone knew me. The cooks, the teachers, na nilikuwa na feel mimi ni mzito. Mimi ni mzito. And I went for the nikaendelea. Second term. So tumebakisha some few months tumalize shule. Na feel mimi ndo mwanaume. Alafu nilikuwa napenda kudance. Nilikuwa naingia shule kudance. Kila mtu anaacha kudance when you watch.
Wow.
So I was trying to do stupid things, and I found myself doing many stupid things. I would go against the law. I would do, ningekuwa tu mrui, ningesumbua tu mwalimu ndo sawa nitambue. Na ningekuwa na feel fit sana. What I never knew is nilikuwa najitafuta but in the wrong places. Moki imekuja, ile exam tunafanyanga before tufanye KE. So shule zilichomwa sana 2016 because watu wako wanataka kufanya mock. So shule yetu ilikuwa imebaki jachomwa around Katondo. And I remember very well, one morning ilikuwa saa 9, 3 am. Mimi nilisikia tu nduru Grace. Kuna chomeka
kwa dorms.
Kuna chomeka. Nimelala. So mimi nikaamka na shanga ni nini. But I knew something was not okay. Ukisikia nduru high school, you know something is wrong. So nikaamka nilikuwa na place na dorm ilikuwa inaitwa Uhuru. So nikatoka nikaangalia pale. Na nilikuwa naona kama moto uko mbali, but I knew something was not okay. So nikatoka nikaenda hadi hapo nje ya dorm. Kulikuwa na class moja ilikuwa inaitwa 3M, then 3S, then streams 4 za form 4. Let me tell you, nilipata na moto. Kioo ikimelt, kioo kama hii ikimelt. And I knew something was not okay. Na nilikuwa najua mimi lazima nikujue. Even if sijachoma sahi najua takujiwa. So it is chaos. 3 am watu wanapiga nduru, wengine wanataka kuzima. Mtu wako form 4, vitabu zake zote zimechomeka, and you are doing an exam in the next 2 months. So streams 4 za form 4 zikachomeka na 2 za form 3. So in total 6 streams zikachomeka. Tukaitwa parade usiku, and I could see teachers cry. A whole teacher. Kwanza kuna boarding master tulikuwa namuita Oge. Alikuwa anapenda kusema okay, so tukamuita Oge. alikuwa analia machozi because shule imechomwa, the books have been banned, and Moho is a big school, extra county school. We were told endeni mlale tutawaita. So venye 6 ilifika tukaenda breakfast. Mimi sikuweza kukula because I knew nitakujiwa. So for once wakaambiwa, who do you think walichoma? Who do you think are the suspects? Niliandika na form 1's 150.
Wow.
So form 1's 150 waliniandika.
Wow.
So I was called. I was the first one kukujiwa. Na makarao wakaniambia, we twende. You have a story to tell us. So nikapelekwa cell. But cell ilikuwa ishakuwa ni kama my home. So nikaenda pale nikauliza maswali mimi nikasema sijui. So my friends pia wakaanza kuletwa huko. Na tukaachwa watu 26. The others were told mwende nyumbani, we'll do the investigation tujue nani walichoma. So tumeachwa huko shule. Watu 26. So I remember very well, tulikuwa tunakalishwa na CID 7. Unakalishwa hapo katikati and they ask you questions. That was my worst moment in this life.
And by this time, what is running through your mind? Because I can imagine, you've not done it.
Yes.
Umekuwa ukisimama na hii urui and everything, but now the real thing has come. So what was going on in your mind?
What was going on in my mind? I was worried because najua sijachoma, but I knew when you umechoma because they were my friends. Nimenyua siku wako niita.
Okay.
Ni ile tu kubatika, ni ile tu God huku. Yani ni God tu anakuhurumia because I think walisahau kuniita. Because I knew ni mabeshte wangu. So nikakujua nikaweka huko cell. So tukafanywa interview, investigation nikaendelea until sasa wakapata wenye walichoma. Because we are just children. Ni ile tu huru ya kujiekelea. We are still young people.
Yeah.
So they found wale watu walichoma. And by that time I'm in form 4. In the next 2 months I'm supposed to do the exam. The national exam. So tukasamehewa, tukaitwa na the board and we were given the last chance. So we did our examination and I remember 1 week ndo tufanye exam. I had a phone because tulikuwa tunasema it's our culture to steal. Ni culture yetu kuibia exam. Ndo hiyo 2016 Matiangi akasema enough is enough.
Yes.
Amtaibia exam tena. And I thought it was a joke. 2016 niko na simu yangu. Tukaitana na marafiki wangu tukasema ai niko na lika. So tukaitana mkutano tukaenda tukafanya. But to our surprise nothing came.
Oh
nothing.
My.
From the first paper to the last paper. The exam haikuwa difficult but because hatuko tumesoma hakuna kitu iliwahi.
Wow.
So nikamaliza form 4. So tumemaliza exam tunasikia life ndo hii tumemaliza mambo na life.
You mean after all those experiences bado you are still having the trying to be someone, you're still your identity is faulty.
Yes.
Wow.
But something in my heart could tell me David inje unaenda mazi si fiti. Something but I would suppress it. Kuna kitu ilikuwa inaniambia mazi inje una choose haitakupeleka fiti but I would ignore it. Ilifika place hadi my mama kapata ulcers juu yangu.
All this time alikuwa anajua what everything that is going on ama she was blindsided?
Alikuwa hakuwa sure because nilikuwa najificha but this time my mother aliingia kwa room akapata nikivuta bangi. There is also a time my uncle alipata bangi huko kwangu na kabelekea shule but nikakana. So nilikuwa my character ilikuwa ishaanza kutokea hadi home. Nikakuwa criminal and they were wondering, is this the same guy we knew? What happened?
Yeah.
I became so stubborn.
Were you rejected?
I was not rejected but they were very worried. They were very worried about me. They were wondering, nini ilifanyikia huyu jamaa wetu? Huyu kijana alikuwa mzuri. What happened? So my grandmother could call people wanaomba pamoja.
Oh my.
Because they're wondering what happened to this young naive guy.
Goodness.
So 2016 nimemaliza and nikapata D. So nimeangalia pale exams. Nikapata D. Nikasema hiyo si ndio nimepata ndadu nini. So 2017 nika repeat in a school called Kaugwini. The same mother nilikuwa nafanya alie. Yeye ndo tulienda all places kutafuta shule.
Wow.
The same mother nilifanya apate answers. Mabeshe wangu hata hatupatanangi na wao, they have gone, some wameenda campus, some I don't know where they went. So my mom anani advise, anani don't give up, and I remember very well mashule nyingi zikatukataa, but we found a school called Kahugwini. Nika repeat, nikaanza tu pole pole, but because I don't have a foundation from one from, do I really struggle? Yes, nime repeat na try kusoma, but there are things I'm not understanding, because throughout my high school I was not reading, so I'm really struggling. So nikasukuma, but once in a while ninge lose focus, nenda tena kudance na sahau, because you might really desire to change, but it's only God who can really change a person.
So true.
So 2017 tumemaliza, bado natumia drugs. 2017 tukamaliza. I only added with 1 grade, nikapata D+. Mimi nika give up na masomo. I gave up. Everyone was calling me a failure. Everyone was telling me that I will never amount to anything. And I remember very well, mimi nikasema, yenyewe hii education si yangu. My mama kaniambia utingia jeshi, mimi nikamwambia zi. So they tried to tell me, basi unataka nini na life? Nikamwambia sijui. I felt lost, I felt confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So mimi nilikuwa na feel, by the way, ini masomo si yangu. So I got into drugs proper. Nilikuwa natumia drugs, nilikuwa natumia kama bangi kama 10 per day.
Wow.
Pombe, nika try the sigara nilikuwa hiyo period.
Wow.
Because I think everyone amenikataa na naona mimi failure. But nikienda kwa marafiki wangu nani celebrate. And we go to places we are celebrated. And I remember very well. It became so intense that nilikuwa navuta bangi until it affect lungs zangu. Ningekohoa usiku.
What?
Because it affected my health.
Is it? Wow. You know, you're saying that and I'm being reminded of the importance of, you have said something interesting. Shosho yako walikuwa wanashikana wanaomba.
Yes.
So even when you're going through all these struggles, there was a backing behind you. So even if you're feeling you're a lost case, there were people who are still believing there's something that can amount out of this man.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. We are going to talk about that later. I continue.
So nimemaliza my second high school and I felt so 2018 naenda tu bash, mimi ndo na plan bash, napenda sana ku dance, so nilikuwa tu napanga bash na kuvuta bangi, stories za madem. I remember this time kwa room yangu so alikuja akapata condoms and my grandmother was so shocked, but by that time I'm blinded by the devil na filio ndo kutesa. And when you lose yourself, when you lose and forget who you are, you can do stupid things. Na unaumizanga wale wasoko close na wewe. My grandmother was broken, my mother was broken. They raised a young man, then wanashanga what has happened. Ningekuja na wasichana kwa shosho ananipata anasikia navuta bangi. So they were really broken and disappointed. I always say that mothers cry 3 types of tears. Mothers cry 3 types of tears. Tears of joy, tears of shame, and tears of sorrow. So the tears that my parents were crying were not tears of joy. They were tears of shame and sorrow. They were wondering what happened. But I don't care. I'm blinded. Mimi nadhani natesa. And I remember very well. One night. Ilikuwa saa 7 saa 8. So by that time shosho amejenga hao. So watoto wake walisoma, there some wenye walienda wakasucceed. Kuna moja anaitwa Monica kwa US. So wamekuwa successful. So shosho alistruggle kuwa raise. So one of them akamjengea hao kubwa sana. So mimi nikapewa room kangu wa kulala. Shosho alikuwa analala master bedroom. So we are the only 2 in that house. Na shosho hizi shinda akikufuata. So nilikuwa naenda kuvutia bangi kwa room yangu. So ningevuta bangi kama 10 before nilale. So this one night nikivuta bangi, it was saa 7 saa 8. I remember nilikuwa nimekelea mguu juu ya meza. Then shosho alikuwa amenipea ka TV kadogo because alikuwa amebaiwa TV kubwa. Nilikuwa tu navuta bangi and all of a sudden grace I felt an intense fear in the room. This fear was not a normal fear. This is what I was seeing in my mind. The angel of death amenikujia niue. So nilitense hadi nikazima bangi. Because in my mind I was seeing angel of death amekuja kuniua, amekuja kuchukua soul yangu. And my grandmother used to tell me there are two types of death. Dying physically and dying spiritually. No, the real death. Na alikuwa ananiambia kukufa physically is not the real death. Alikuwa ananiambia wakati utakufa bila kujuana na God, bila kujuana na Christ, you will be eternally doomed. So my greatest fear till now is dying without a relationship with Christ.
Wow.
That is my greatest fear.
Wow.
So that night, a conviction in my heart came. Na nikafeel enyewe before the angel of death aniue, wacha niende nibonge na shosho. So mimi nika tiptoe. Nika tiptoe na nikafika master bedroom ya shosho and I knocked. Na shosho akauliza in mother tongue, ore datia, unataka nini? Nikamwambia shosho oka. I told her to come. And then akakuja, nikamwambia twende pale kwa meza. So we went to the sitting room. So venye tulifika pale sitting room, akawasha mataa. But alikuwa na usingizi sana. Can you imagine kuamsha mtu saa 7 saa 8?
Yeah.
So ana struggle na usingizi, light inamchoma, but ananiangalia kwa uso akaniuliza tena in Kikuyu. Muiruri, ore datia. So she called me Muiruri. Muiruri, unataka nini? I looked at her, she looked at me. And I gathered up my energy because I was so tense. Nilikuwa mazina tetemeka. Because nilikuwa naona angel of death anataka kuniua. So I told my grandmother in Kikuyu, Dreda kohonoka, I want to give my life to Christ.
Wow, it must have sounded like a joke or something.
Yes. So she was so surprised. She was like, I could see on her face that you're just joking. You're just high on bang. Oh, umevuta bangi wewe.
Yeah.
So akaniambia gojea kesho uncle yako atakuprayia. My uncle is a pastor, anaitwa Uncle Joel. But I couldn't wait. I knew that this is the day of my salvation.
Wow.
Ni sasa ama sasa. I could not wait. The conviction was so heavy. Hata kama nakufa, I want to die knowing Christ. Wow. I knelt down, nikaichukua mkono juu na nikafunga macho, ndo shosho siniambia niamke because I really insisted. Ni saa hii, mimi siwezi ngoja kesho. Sasa ndo nataka kuokoka. Wow. Si kesho, right now. And there is that moment that unasemanga, this is the day of my salvation.
Yes.
Not tomorrow,
So
not
true.
next week, now.
So
and shosho prayed for me.
wow.
And she led me to Christ.
Wow.
And that's where my journey began. The man you see now, that's where the journey began. God started working in me.
Yeah.
The Bible says, he that began a good work in you is faithful enough to bring it into completion.
So
God began a good work in me that night. And he's still progressing. That journey is still progressing. I am who I am because of the grace of God. I was lost in drugs, lost in pornography, lost in masturbation. And I thought I was a fool and a failure. But God began a good journey in me.
Wow.
Fast forward, nimeokoka, God amenisaidia, nimeacha drugs. I started an organization called Youth Against Drug Abuse, called YADA.
Wow.
So in 2018, I've lost hope. Nimepata grades azizi in the uni. My friends wanaenda university. So niko pale home. All I could do was dance. So ningetrain or say dance. But ikafika place, God akaniambia, because nimekusaidia kuacha bangi, si pia umente wengine. So I started helping people to stop drugs, to live better lives. And I remember, wale watu nilikuwa na train dance, tukashikana and we started a group called Youth Against Drug Abuse. Tukaregister hiyo group na tukaanza kusaidia the guys around there. So I became a youth leader.
Wow.
But I didn't know what I was doing. Sikuwa najua kenye nafanya. For the first time, I was using my life in a positive way. Nimeishi kulidwa kwa strike and leading people in the wrong way. For the first time, I'm using my life and leading people in the right way.
Wow. Did you feel any kind of fulfillment in that?
I felt so good.
Wow.
For the first time, I'm leading people to do the right things. And that's when now I started discovering who I was and my purpose. I was finding my identity in the wrong places. So nikaanza kuwalk na wase. I really helped so many people wakacha drugs. So venye tuli register your group, tukaanza kusaidia watu wengine kuacha kutumia drugs. And that's when I discovered my purpose and my burden for the boy child and my purpose for public speaking. I got favor with the MP then. Alikuwa anaitwa Kago wa Lydia. I got favor with the MCA. And people started referring me to me as a leader, which I never saw in me. So when I gave my life to Christ alianza kunisaidia kujielewa. There was so much in me. And the devil wanted to destroy the seed in me. But God delivered me.
Wow.
As I said earlier, the devil comes to kill, steal and destroy. But God is saying that I have come so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. I was once lost, but now I am found. I registered that organization and I got value now. I started seeing myself differently. Nikaanza kuona manze niko na value. Manze naweza saidia msee. I thought I was a failure. So in 2020, corona venye ili hit. So I was there training people how to dance, reading scriptures. I would learn things, then nakuja kufunza wase. And I remember God led me to a man called Dr. Miles Monroe.
Wow.
Na through Miles Monroe nikaanza kudiscover I had a purpose in life. And my purpose do not define me. I started seeing myself the way God sees me, that I'm still valuable. I still have a potential and my past do not define me. Yes, I've made many stupid decisions. Nimefanya maufala mingi. But God akanikumbusha through the word that I am a new creature in Christ. I am a new creation in Christ.
Wow.
The old has gone and the new has come. Nika find hope. Nika realize, nika encounter love ya God. Na God akaanza kuni change from one glory unto another.
Wow. You know what is coming to my mind right now is your parents, your mom, your shosh. Sasa wameona this guy ameanza kubadilika.
Yes.
So automatically even the ambience at home ilibadilika.
Yes.
So how did your parents respond to your transformation?
So my parents were in disbelief because walianza kusikia story huko nje. Kijana wako ni mzuri, wanashangaa kijana mgani? Kijana wako ni mzuri, wanashangaa kijana mgani? And they were like, are you speaking about Muiruri? And they were like, yes.
Wow.
Kijana wako amesaidia kijana wangu.
Wow.
So they got information from other people.
Wow.
So even before niwaambie, they were like, Muiruri kwa kidotorero. There's something we've been told by other people. Kuna kitu tunaambiwa na other parents, atunasaidia. So they were in disbelief. They were 50-50. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And until when now they started seeing all the results. They were like, wow. And my grandmother is the happiest person now.
Wow.
We go there now anaambia wase, you just see this finished product. This just see this new David. But I know I've prayed for him. So parents, don't give up.
Yeah.
Msichoke kuombea mavijana. Sometimes tunakuanga na maujinga zetu, but your prayers zinafanyanga turudi. Mimi kitu moja ilinishikilia ni ati prayers za shosho yangu na za mamangu zilinishikilia that yes nilienda astray but God alinirudisha, na kama God alinichange, God anaweza change anyone. So in 2021 nika discover I have a passion for the community, a passion for helping many communities and also helping the young people. So I went to Mount Kenya University and I did my certificate in community development and social work. I will keep on stretching. Yes, I've made bad decisions, but one thing I know, I can never go back and change the past, but I can start now and create a new future. And that is what I'm doing. But my prayer is, zile mistake nimefanya, usifanye. Nimefanya maufala mingi, I've made bad decisions. Zilikuwa zililead kwa life. Kuna marafiki wangu wamekufa, kuna marafiki wengi wangu wako prison. But because of God's grace, mimi alini rescue. Hakuna haja make the same mistakes zenye nilifanya. So my brothers and my sisters, nimefanya a lot of mistakes, nimefanya a lot of nimemake a lot of stupid decisions. Zenye zingefanya nikufe ama niende prison. But grace ya God ilinisave. So I'm here to share my testimony. Ndio kama unasikiza hii story, usimake the same mistake. Inaweza kuwa ufala, mimi nilihata na pia uhate.
So true.
So the reason I'm sharing this story so that you can pick some lessons. God ana allow tupitie hii ndio watu wengine wa learn from us. But but you don't have to go through what I've gone through. So
Yeah.
learn from my mistakes
Yes.
and be wise. It's only a fool who wants to learn from their own experience.
So true.
Yes.
So as we are concluding, because history yako, actually we can just go overnight, because I know we have left very many details.
Yes.
But as we conclude, what would you like to tell that young man who is struggling with identity? And I talking to you or talking with you, I've realized that you're very passionate about young people.
Yes.
So what would you encourage, or how would you encourage that person who is struggling with their identity, and what would be your take home? Yes.
Thank you so much, Grace. As we wind up, I want to tell you this. When God led me to Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe, I learned 5 things. And Miles Monroe says these are the 5 questions that everyone needs to answer. So the first question is, who am I? The first thing that you need to discover as a young person, ile kitu unafaa discover ukiwa young.
Yeah.
We ni nani? Who are you? Na hiyo ni question ya identity. So leo ningetaka ujiulize, who are you? Unadefiniwa na mabeshte, unadefiniwa na madem, unadefiniwa na nani? Who defines you? Because kama God akudefine, unadefiniwa na the wrong things. Through my story, nilidefiniwa na the wrong things. Na kama si grace ya God, maybe ningekuwa nimekufa. The second question, hii swali inatusaidianga to understand where we come from. Where am I from? When you understand that you come from God and God is your father, unachanga kujiview that mostly mimi nimegrow bila mzae. So mimi nilikuwa na feel mimi ni accident. Mimi tu nikimtu hivi.
Yeah.
But when I understood that God is my father, that even before mamangu na babangu wapatane, God alikuwa ananijua.
Yes.
Na alitumia tu babangu na mamangu kunileta on earth. So it doesn't matter if nimegrow bila baba or mama, or even I'm an orphan. I know I have a God in heaven.
Wow.
The third question is a question about purpose. Why am I here? Most of the times nilikuwa nadhani I am a biological mistake. Nilikuwa nadhani mimi ni mistake. Imagine kusikia tu story that when kama una baba growing in such an environment, but I came to discover that I have a purpose. I have a purpose.
Yeah.
And you also have a purpose. God created you and me for a purpose. You have an assignment on this earth. You are not a biological mistake. And the fourth question is, what can I do? That is a question about potential. I learned that I have so much in me, but the devil wants to kill that seed of greatness in you.
Yeah.
God may deposit so much in you. God may deposit so much in you. And the last question is a question about destination. Where am I going? I would want you to ask yourself, where are you going? Where will you be in the next 5 years? Where will you be in the next 10 years, in the next 50 years? One day you will be a father. One day you will be a great mother. One day you will be a great man. But there are decisions that you need to do. My mentor says you can choose the life you want to live. You first make choices, then choices make you. Because my life and your life is a sum total of the choices we make every day.
Wow.
So I love you guys, and may God bless you. May God help you. But the journey begins when you come back to your manufacturer. When you come back to Christ, that is where the journey begins. Because you have a purpose and there is so much in you that you need to discover.
Wow, so interesting. Maybe you can share your handles so that people can get to know more about you, right? Because you're still having these outreaches where you're speaking to young people and through your public speaking. So where can we get you? Tukupate wapi?
Oh, so great. So currently I'm in Thika. I'm working with an organization called African Christian Mission International, located in Thika, Pale BAT. So right now I'm working with that organization. When I discovered I have a burden for the boy child, I came and volunteered in an organization called African Christian Mission International, ACMI. It's a life changer. And we go to high schools to reach out. And we go to high school. Why do I go to high school? To share my testimony of what God's grace can do to a person. I always say this, that every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. So my name is David. So if you would want to if you'd want me to pray with you, if you'd want me to mentor you or continue sharing my story with you in depth, this is my number: 0726158915. When you go to Facebook. My name is David Muiruri Gathoni. May God bless you, and may God help you to discover who you are and also your purpose.
Wow, amazing. So that's it for today. We are so blessed to hear the transformation that God can take someone through, and we are so happy to have had you, David, and be ready for many more testimonies that are going to transform your life. So now, before tumalize, you said you're a dancer, so which dance can we make when we are seated down? I can make this kind of dance, but maybe you can show me another one.
Oh, great. I never saw that coming. I never saw that coming.
Yeah.
So interesting. I never saw that coming. So there's a dance we do. You do like this. You do 1, then 2,
Okay.
then 3, then 4.
Okay, so this is our goodbyes. 1, 2, go. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
That is
So
nice.
see you next time. God bless you.